Breaking Liverpool news. Big injury updates after Liverpool's win over Spurs. Alexander Isak latest, and what it means for transfers going forward. Stay tuned for all the details. This is Reds Focus LFC, your home for daily Liverpool updates. Subscribe now and never miss a breaking LFC story. Milos Kerkez details what has changed at Liverpool recently as Florian Wirtz impact grows. Milos Kerkez has lifted the lid on Liverpool's change in fortunes in recent games, with the left-back developing a partnership with fellow summer signing Florian Wirtz. Kerkez, a $40 million, $54 million acquisition from Bournemouth, has featured in 4 of the last 5 Premier League fixtures, with Wirtz operating ahead of him on the left flank, and both have discovered their rhythm in recent weeks, with the Reds now sitting 5th following Saturday's 2-1 victory at Tottenham Hotspur. The Hungary defender reckons he's beginning to cultivate an understanding with $116 million, $156 million creative midfielder Wirtz, who arrived at Anfield from Bayer Leverkusen in June, reports the Liverpool Echo. "It wasn't really hard settling in," Kerkez told BBC Radio 5 Live. "All the guys that helped me a lot, they've pushed me. The last few weeks have been better because we've had more time to gel in and get to know each other. At the moment, there's a good connection between me and Flo, Wirtz. We're playing good, and I hope it keeps going. I like the change in shape because I have more freedom with Flo. We are moving, passing, and playing a lot of 1-2s. I felt like I was in the opposition box a lot more and crossing. Also, defending is my first job, so it's getting better, and I'm happy about it. It was a tough period for everyone. We spoke with each other and had talks, and after that, we started to fly more. We just have to trust and push each other and show mentality. Like I say, if you play for Liverpool, you need to win games." Regarding Saturday's triumph over Spurs, Kerkez continued, "Trust me, I don't really know why the control disappeared late on. I just tried to focus. It was really tough because everyone was in the box and there were lots of high balls, second balls, third balls. We should have cleared it better and got higher up the pitch, but it is what it is. 3 points. It's important to collect points and get back to basics. We're Liverpool. We need to win games." Liverpool injury latest and return dates after major Alexander Isak's blow against Tottenham, with the striker facing a lengthy spell out of the side. Liverpool might have arrested its slide recently, but the Reds' upturn in form has come at a cost on the injury front. Arne's side has now gone 6 games unbeaten across all competitions, a far cry from the dismal form they showed during October and November. Unfortunately for the Liverpool boss, though, his list of absentees seems to be growing with every game. Alexander Isak is the latest to be added to the injury list, and it doesn't look good for the striker after he was forced off immediately after scoring his 3rd goal for the club against Tottenham on Saturday. With Mohamed Salah away on Africa Cup of Nations duty and Dominic Szoboszlai suspended after picking up his 5th yellow card of the season, the squad is looking rather bare as we head into the festive period, with Wolves due to visit Anfield on December 27th. Here is the latest on the injury front for Liverpool. Alexander Isak. Isak looks set for a lengthy spell on the sidelines after being forced off after scoring against Tottenham. Having been clattered into by Mickey van de Ven, the striker has suffered a suspected broken leg. Liverpool has not yet discovered the full extent of the injury, although the club is said to be concerned about his condition. If scans do indeed show a leg break, then Isak is likely to be out of action for at least a few months. Possible return date? Unknown. Connor Bradley. Isak wasn't the only injury worry to come out of Saturday's game, with Connor Bradley also handing the Reds another scare. The right-back appeared to tweak his hamstring during the first half in North London before being taken off at halftime. Slot will be hoping the problem doesn't turn out to be anything too serious, especially given Bradley's injury record. Potential return date? Unknown. Cody Gakpo. Cody Gakpo has been out injured since picking up a muscle problem during the 3-3 draw at Leeds earlier this month. Slot did reveal last week that the results of a scan on the issue proved to be promising, meaning the forward shouldn't spend much longer out of action, although the Liverpool boss did rule him out of this weekend's game against Wolves. Possible return date, January 1st, Leeds. Joe Gomez. Joe Gomez was forced off midway through the first half of the 2-0 win over Brighton, having assisted Hugo Ekitike for the opener less than a minute into the game. The defender has had more than his fair share of injuries during his time at Anfield, and the sight of him limping off at Anfield won't fill fans with hope. Slot didn't give much away on his problem when speaking last week, but it looks likely that he will be out of the game against Wolves. Possible return date? Unknown. Wataru Endo. Like Gakpo, Wataru Endo's last appearance came in the draw at Leeds, with the Japan international having sustained an ankle injury. The absence will become as a big blow at a time when Liverpool could do with some backup options in defense. Possible return date, January 2026. Giovanni Leone. Giovanni Leone's season was over before it had barely begun, with the young defender picking up an ACL injury in September. The Italian subsequently underwent surgery and is expected to miss the rest of the campaign now, with next season now the target for him. A look at some of the moments missed from Liverpool's 2-1 win over Tottenham Hotspur on Saturday. Liverpool moved up to 5th in the Premier League with a 2-1 win over a Tottenham Hotspur side who finished the game with 9 men on Saturday evening. After Xavi Simons had been sent off for a rake down the Achilles of Virgil van Dijk after around half an hour, Alexander Isak struck the opener before Hugo Ekitike doubled the advantage in the second period. Richarlison reduced the deficit before Christian Romero was also given his marching orders for kicking out on Ibrahima Konate, and the Reds held on to secure a 6th game without defeat. But you knew all of that, of course. What you might have missed, however, were a series of intriguing subplots at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Here, as ever, are the latest moments missed. No hard feelings for Van Dijk. They might have been opponents on the day, but Virgil van Dijk made sure he had a word of encouragement for Netherlands colleague Xavi Simons after the Spurs forward had been sent off. Simon was dismissed after raking his studs down the Achilles of his compatriot on the day and made a public apology via social media not long after the final whistle in North London. Simons wrote, "Mistakes happen. Virg is my captain. I would never intentionally hurt him or anyone. To my Spurs teammates, my manager, and the fans, I take responsibility. I'm really sorry." Van Dijk made a quick beeline for Simon after the yellow card was upgraded to red and exchanged a word with his younger Oranje colleague before stopping short of explaining the nature of their chat after the game. "I don't think there was any intention to hurt me, but obviously he hurt me, and then the referee and the VAR made the decision to send him off," Van Dijk said. "Yeah, I spoke to him. It's a chat that no one needs to know." Merry Christmas, Everton. It's that time of year where Liverpool fans like to remind their city rivals of some famous December derbies, and while Everton might have been gearing up for their own clash with a side from North London over 200 miles away on Merseyside, Red supporters indulged themselves in the capital. "Merry Christmas, Everton," sang the away end in reference to a handful of victories over the Blues around Christmas time in recent years. From the Sadio Mane winner at Goodison Park 9 years ago this week, to the Divock Origi header that won it at Anfield in 2018, and even the 4-1 shellacking of a Rafa Benitez Everton in 2021, Liverpool fans love reminding all about their festive memories over their local enemies. Spurs fans in the home ends were likely confused as to why Everton were the object of the ribbing, but Liverpool fans made their own fun in the capital either way before kickoff. An evening of cheer. With no game now until after Christmas, the Liverpool squad spent Saturday evening at a plush, unnamed venue, enjoying something of a makeshift festive celebration. Captain Virgil van Dijk was understandably coy when quizzed on the details, but the players got together for a meal in the capital after being granted some time off before they reconvened to begin their preparations for the visit from Wolves on December 27th. "We actually have Christmas Day off, which is very nice of the staff. I'll make the most of spending the day with my wife and kids. I think it's the first time I've had Christmas off as a Liverpool player. It's a nice change. I'll be at home Christmas Eve too. I'm really looking forward to it. We are having dinner tonight. The staff always have a particular plan for a game. It works well for everyone. It's special to be off on Christmas Day. I don't think it's happened in my Premier League career so far. I'll make the most of being with my family and enjoy it all." Chiesa on the scene early. Despite being substitute on the night, Chiesa was one of the first on the scene to help a stricken Alexander Isak after the Liverpool striker opened the scoring at Spurs. After tucking away his third goal for the Reds, Isak was clattered by Mickey van de Ven and was forced off with what is hoped is not as serious an injury as it appeared at the time. As the players circled around Isak before signaling to the bench for help, Chiesa, who was warming up on the touchline, ran onto the pitch, bib on and all, to make sure he was at the side of his colleague to provide whatever assistance he could. The Italian could be seen helping out alongside the physios as they tended to Isak, who was promptly substituted for Jeremy Frimpong. It's clear to see why Chiesa is so valued around the Liverpool dressing room.
Liverpool holds Antoine Semenyo advantage as Alexander Isak injury could accelerate transfer. Liverpool has been linked with a move for Antoine Semenyo in January, along with the likes of Manchester City and Manchester United, but the Reds may hold an advantage. Liverpool is anxiously awaiting the results of Alexander Isak's injury, sustained during Saturday's 2-1 victory over Tottenham Hotspur. However, the January transfer window could provide a timely opportunity should the Reds find themselves short of another forward this winter. Isak was forced to leave the pitch after bearing the brunt of a Mickey van de Ven tackle while scoring Liverpool's opening goal at Spurs. An MRI scan scheduled for Monday will determine the full extent of his injury. Should the striker face a prolonged period on the sidelines, he would be the third Reds attacker currently unavailable, with Mohamed Salah away on duty with Egypt at the Africa Cup of Nations and Cody Gakpo also sidelined through injury. Isak is feared to have sustained a broken leg on Saturday, which would likely mean a lengthy spell on the sidelines and leave Liverpool even shorter on options in attack amid a growing injury list. The solution could be a $65 million investment in the transfer market this coming January. Currently, Liverpool is among several clubs reportedly interested in Bournemouth star Antoine Semenyo. This figure is understood to be the 25-year-old's release clause, which expires early in the new year, meaning interested parties must move swiftly, reports the Liverpool Echo. According to The Guardian, Liverpool is competing with major rivals Manchester City, Manchester United, and Tottenham, but may have the upper hand, as Anfield is rumored to be Semenyo's preferred destination. It's suggested that Semenyo, who has primarily played on the right wing for his current club under Andoni Iraola, is Arne Slot's choice as a long-term successor to Salah. However, Gakpo's unavailability might open up a spot on the left flank, whilst Semenyo has lately voiced his ambition to play through the middle in attack, a prospect should Isak be sidelined. "I'm destined to be a number 9, the Ghanaian told Away Days on YouTube. Andoni, gaffer, play me as a 9, that's all I'm going to say." Liverpool.com says, if Liverpool is serious about its interest in Semenyo, then it should absolutely make its move next month and take advantage of that release clause. Spending $87 million after the summer the Reds had might seem a bit ridiculous to some, but if Isak is out injured for a long time, then more options are going to be needed in attack. Everything we know about Alexander Isak injury as Arne Slot raises fears. Alexander Isak scored his second goal for Liverpool against Spurs, but was immediately brought off after falling awkwardly after getting his shot away. All you need to know after Alexander Isak picked up an injury in Liverpool's 2-1 win over Tottenham Hotspur on Saturday evening. Isak's bittersweet goal. Liverpool striker Alexander Isak scored the opening goal in a 2-1 win over Tottenham, but was immediately forced off with an injury. The Swedish international was clattered by defender Mickey van de Ven while finishing a powerful shot past Guglielmo Vicario. Immediate substitution. Having only entered the game as a halftime substitute, Isak's appearance lasted just 10 minutes before he was helped from the pitch by medical staff. He appeared to be in significant pain and was replaced by Jeremy Frimpong as Liverpool adjusted their lineup. Slot's initial assessment. Manager Arne Slot stated that the club must wait for further medical assessments before knowing the full extent of the injury. He admitted it is never a good sign when a player is unable to even attempt to continue playing after a collision. Additional injury concerns. In addition to Isak, Liverpool are also monitoring the status of defender Connor Bradley, who was also withdrawn during the match. Bradley attempted to play through his issue, but was eventually taken off at halftime because he was unable to carry on. Match performance summary. Liverpool secured the victory through goals from Isak and a towering header from Hugo Ekitike. Tottenham managed to have the deficit through Richarlison, but ultimately finished the game with 9 men following 2 red cards. Positive news. The Reds now face an anxious wait to determine the extent of Isak's injury. However, fears of a potential ACL tear were put at ease on Saturday night, with The Athletic reporting the initial prognosis is a lower leg injury as opposed to the knee. Concerns. Despite their 2-man advantage late in the game, Slot expressed disappointment that his team allowed Tottenham to dominate possession in the final minutes. He noted that the team needs more wins to feel comfortable and composed when facing late-game setbacks. Looking ahead, Liverpool now has a week-long break before their next fixture, which Slot hopes will be enough time for his squad to recover. The manager emphasized the importance of having enough available players as they look to build on their current momentum.